It started as a whisper, but it has now escalated into a full-fledged conflict. Tasha K, the internet's most courageous and dreaded spokesperson, just lit a match beneath the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta set. And baby, this fire, it is burning through secrets. People prayed they would never see daylight. Tasha is rumored to be sitting on secret tapes of Mendeecees and Erica Mena. These types of videos conclude with a fast-paced behind-the-scenes confrontation. She is threatening to leak them. Her exact words were, "Don't play with me." Now, fans are frozen in shock and asking the same question. How did she get these videos? And why Erica and Mendeecees? Didn't they just deny any connection on camera? Suddenly, stories about last week's commotion on set, when security was summoned and Yandhi stormed off in tears, are beginning to make sense. And don't forget that this isn't Tasha's first time dropping bombs, but even she finds this one scary. Relationships are disintegrating, alliances are shifting, and the streets are rife with betrayal. What happened between Erica and Mendeecees? Is Tasha lying, or is this a scorched earth warning shot? Do not blink. This story is about to explode. We have all the T-dots. It all began on a sweltering Atlanta afternoon, the kind when tension is thick in the air and a single misplaced word may turn the entire scene upside down. The cast of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was intended to tape a casual sit-down, something low-key to help bridge the nasty tension between Erica Mena and Yandhi Smith. Cameras were rolling, producers were nervous, and no one could have predicted the storm that was brewing just beyond the frame. Mendeecees strolled onto the scene, sporting a tranquil face that normally indicated serenity. Until he was not. He hardly glanced at Yandhi, who sat on the other side of the table, arms crossed so tightly that she appeared to be keeping herself together with force. Erica was late again, but this time it wasn't because of glam or traffic. She was on the phone with someone she wasn't supposed to be. Someone was about to change everything. Tasha K, the blogger, had been stirring the pot for several weeks. Whispers had spread through group chats, fan pages, and even hair salons. Tasha had something private and raw. And according to the message she wrote to Erica that morning, she was done with it herself. "Do not toy with me. I'll spill everything. Try me." These remarks struck Erica like a physical punch. She grew pale, her hands trembling so much that she almost dropped her phone. Producers exchanged concerned expressions. They had heard something was wrong, but they had no idea what until Erica strode in, tight-lipped and hyper-aware of every camera in the room. The conversation began. Civil, small conversation, prepared questions, and the typical phony calm before the storm. But behind it all, there was an electrical current. Everyone waited for the fuse to be lighted. Erica's voice was low and strained. Finally, someone spoke. "We need to discuss away from the camera." The room froze. Mendeecees narrowed his gaze. "What is this about?" he asked. She didn't respond. She simply stared at him. She had her phone in hand, as if she expected him to know already. Yandhi picked up on it immediately. "What are you hiding right now?" she snapped. Nobody responded. Mendeecees shifted in his seat, his gaze darting to the sound crew as if he was wondering who was listening. That is when Erica took out her phone and showed him the screen. A screenshot of Tasha's threat. "If you do not tell the truth, I will." It read, "I have videos." Mandy's expression shifted. "You and her, don't play with me." Confused, not furious, and terrified, he leaned forward, his voice low. "Where did you get it?" Erica shook her head, panic in her eyes. "I did not. Tasha did. She texted it to me this morning." Yandhi stood up suddenly and sharply. "What the hell is going on?" she demanded. No one responded. Mendeecees removed the phone from Erica's grasp and gazed at the message. "She doesn't have anything," he said, attempting to be firm. But his voice trembled just enough to let uncertainty creep in. Erica was not buying it. Neither was Yandhi. "Which videos?" Yandhi pressed the dot. Mendeecees did not respond. The quiet was louder than any confession. Producers, they paused filming, talked among themselves, and then led the cast off set under the ruse of equipment inspections. However, there was no cooling off. Not now. Not with what was unraveling in the corridor. Erica clutched Mendeecees' voice, trembling. "You said that night meant nothing. You said no one would find out." He peered around, muttering so softly she could hardly hear him. "I'm not sure how she got that. I swear, I removed everything. I don't even speak to her," Erica hissed. "You were in the hotel room with me." And with that, the denial broke. Yandy Y, standing a few steps away, caught every word. She did not shout. She did not cry. She simply walked away, leaving them to their disarray. The following morning, Tasha went live. No warning, no teaser. It's just her, the microphone, and the fire in her eyes. "So, let me make this perfectly clear," she said, her voice steady. "I asked them to come clean. They did not. They are now playing silly. I don't bluff. I actually have what I say I have. And unless someone begins telling the truth, I am going to air everything out. Videos, screenshots, the entire freaking archive." Comments erupted. "We are caught between wrath and eager expectation." Erica sent a weird note on her story. "Please pray for me." Then they erased it before anyone could comment. Mendeecees went radio silence. There are no posts interviews. Yandy shared a black screen with 3 words. "I warned you." By midday, an anonymous tip prompted a fan account to unearth hotel invoices with identical timestamps and grainy pictures of Mendeecees entering a downtown suite with someone who resembled Erica. The story was suddenly no longer a rumor. It was a ticking time bomb. Rich Dallas was said to have seen the communications and warned men weeks ago. Suddenly, fans began to trace every rap party video, cross-referencing dated Instagram stories and time-stomping incidents for proof. Mendeecees appeared to have not slept, and Yandy sat alone, mouth clenched so tightly that her knuckles turned white. The director's mild cue shattered the tension. "Simply speak from the heart. Whatever you're feeling." Yandy stood, looked at Mendeecees and shouted, "So you cheated on me with her and now you've got the whole world watching me break." Mendeecees dropped his gaze, voice barely audible. Erica gasped when I botched up. Yandy laughed with a short, cracked sound. "You botched up?" she repeated. "Or did you decide to hurt me?" He did not respond day after day, even though he smiled at me. The cameras rolled. Every heartbeat felt magnified. Yandy Y turned and went away, leaving stillness in her wake. Nobody followed. Backstage, producers hurried to review video, reviewing contracts and release paperwork. They had never captured something so authentic, raw, and explosive. Then I knew everyone's phones lit up when a notification appeared. Tasha had tweeted a photo of a laptop paused on a video frame, with 2 hazy figures on a hotel bed. The caption stated, "Y'all better come correct. I'm done playing with you clowns." The cast was in disarray. Legal teams met. Statements and fans were drafted by publicists. They were delving deeper, gathering every clue like detectives eager for the next discovery. During the pandemonium, Bambi Scrappy was seen shooting their own confessionals off camera, muttering about loyalty and betrayal. Some felt Scrappy alluded at secrets everyone believes they know, while others speculated he was collaborating with Tasha on an even greater revelation. Meanwhile, Erica's phone lit up with texts from an unknown source claiming to have additional film perspectives. Tasha did not show. An anonymous DM said, "I got more. Meet me at the Dogwood Lounge at 2 o'clock a.m." Erica glanced at the message, her heart racing. She pondered and ignored it, but curiosity and dread triumphed. If someone else had further evidence, she needed to know how far this went. Across town, Mendeecees sat in his car outside a darkened home, waiting for a knock. His thoughts raced. Was it Tasha herself? A friend turned informant? Or is it a trap? Every minute seemed like an hour. The web tightened with each passing moment. Alliances crumbled, trust disappeared, and as the city slept, the cast of love and hip-hop, Atlanta was playing a high-stakes game. Across town, Nandi's SUV sat behind tinted windows, headlights cutting through the pre-dawn gloom. He recalled Yandy's claim from the night before, her voice shaking as she said, "You gave Tasha the bullets." He swallowed and contacted his attorney. Silence responded. He dialed again. Finally, she picked up with a measured voice. "We must. Ready for defamation and privacy invasion lawsuits," she stated. He nodded, but she couldn't see him. "Send me a draft," he mumbled, but his mind raced with another worry. What if Tasha's leaks were really a cover for something considerably worse? Yandy sought safety in her sister's guest room. The walls were plastered in childhood images, making it feel like another existence. Her sister sat across from her, with hands clasped. "You can't keep doing this," she said softly. "You either fight with everything you've got or give up." Yandy's fingers trembled around the coffee cup, "Who are we going to fight?" she inquired. "Him, her. The network, Tasha." Tears sparkled in her eyes. "I'm tired of choosing sides." Her sister reached across and squeezed her hand. "You choose yourself. That's all you need." At lunchtime, Tasha K she has already planned her next move, posting a graphic with the cryptic quote, "Every empire crumbles from within." Fans dissected the phrases. Sure, Tasha was predicting the death of the show, while conspiracy blogs spun theories that the network itself was behind some of the leaks. A tactic to raise numbers before the season finale sparked a flurry of speculation. Were the audio clips staged by the producers? Was Tasha working with an insider? Or could none of it be true? Erica's single lines about meeting at the botanical garden felt like a scenario from a thriller. The sky was a whirl of pink and orange, with shadows. The assistant producer she had been promised stood beneath the willow tree, face disguised behind a sweatshirt, and handed her a sealed package containing text logs, call records, and payment receipts, whispering. Erica's heart pumped as she tore open the envelope and scanned the sheet speckled with phone numbers and timestamps. One name kept repeating. The producer disappeared before Erica could inquire more, leaving her alone under the weeping willow. Mind spinning. 2 streets away, Yandy cooperated with Bambi in a dismal motel room. The narrow walls hummed with air conditioning. Bambi scattered grainy images across the bed. Mendeecees' phone screen, Erica's name blinking at 2:47 a.m., and an unknown number phoning 5 times at the tweet burst, linking to an exclusive interview in which she hinted at evidence beyond the leaks, promising the mastermind's name and puppet strings. The internet erupted once again. In the aftermath, revelations fell like dominoes. A high-ranking producer was suspended. Legal notifications went out, and viewership reached all-time highs. The cast watched the carnage unfold, feeling both relief and horror. They'd uncovered the machine, but now it was fighting back. And somewhere in the shadows, the ultimate architect of everything smiled, watching the world burn around her perfectly planned strategy. The instant T's tweet went live, the city seemed like it was wobbling on its axis. Within seconds, notifications flooded everyone's phones. Erica's pulse raced as she saw the link click count rise as if an attacker was approaching. She sat in her living room, surrounded by evidence folders and legal documents. She wished for a moment of peace that she knew would not come. The exclusive interview she had not agreed to was published on Gizmodo's website, MTV News, even CNN's entertainment ticker. The headlines screamed that there was evidence of production manipulation and promised the identity of the puppet master. Mendeecees looked at the TV in bewilderment. He believed that by challenging the network and disclosing those discussion records, he would grab control. It felt more like handing over complete control to someone else. He sifted through emails, looking for any hints of who Tasha was about to name. He rejected her warnings weeks ago as sensational clickbait. Now, he wondered if she had meticulously planned every leak and step. Grandmaster. Yandy felt a tremor of betrayal in her gut. She paced her flat, recalling the gathering when they pledged unity. That plan appeared. I am now blindly optimistic. Allyship with Erica and Mendeecees had meant survival. Now, as the internet scrutinized every snapshot and recorded chat, she wondered if any of it was genuine or if they were all pieces on someone else's board. Meanwhile, fans searched for hints. Reddit forums erupted with theories. Was the mastermind an angry former producer or a network executive looking to increase ratings before advertising deadlines? Or was it an outside public relations firm hired to create a scandal? Amateur sleuths tracked Tasha's previous social media posts. Were hunting for hints of a concealed collaborator. What? An obsessive thread claimed that a shady account messaged Tasha weeks ago, promising intel for a price. The mere suggestion that Tasha could be compromised sends shivers down the spines of devoted fans. In the studio's control room, producers gathered around a single screen that displayed Tasha's interview tape. The network brass hovered over them, their faces pallid. One executive put his palm to his mouth as he watched Tasha accuse the network of manufacturing drama for viewers. Her voice was firm, unwavering. Another executive said, "We need damage control now." They hurried to compose statements, but each one felt Hollywood's proof was too comprehensive, too damning. Erica decided she couldn't remain concealed. She stepped in front of her camera for an unplanned Instagram live. She started shaking her hands. "I never meant this to turn into a circus." but the truth is more important than comfort. You deserve to know what's true and what's not, she shared. An excerpt from the call log. They had discovered timestamps depicting producers coordinating key points in the cast's clash. Fans saw her live stream statistics dramatically outpace Tasha's. Some people applauded her transparency. Others accused her of attempting to steal Tasha's thunder. Mendeecees, meanwhile, he sat in a darkly lit meeting room with his lawyer and publicist. Every camera angle and clip had been evaluated. They had identified payment records, implying that a freelance editor had been engaged to turn private moments into spectacular teasers. The editor's name was unfamiliar, but the investigation led to a shell corporation with ties to a large PR firm. The same agency had handled crisis management for a number of reality series. This was more than just one insider. It was a planned campaign. Yan Dai, split between fury and tiredness, picked up her phone and browsed through the remarks. Fans chastised her for not speaking sooner. Others praised her tenacity. As night fell, a silence settled over Atlanta. Tasha sat across from an unidentified guy in a downtown penthouse room, his face obscured beneath a sweatshirt. Papers lie on the glass table. Contracts, payment receipts, and a list of individuals have been identified as compromised. Tasha's eyes gleamed in the faint light. "So, you're telling me network executives paid you to fabricate evidence?" replied the woman. The figure nodded. "Yes. And you've got proof." Tasha inserted a photo evidence into an email exchange between a senior producer and the shell firm. She tapped the photograph with her finger. "It finishes tonight." Scrappy and Bambi met in a makeshift war room, the motel room where part 2 had begun. They now had backups of all footage, encrypted versions on flash drives, and printed copies of contracts. Bambi gazed at Scrappy. "We need to make a public declaration declaring all we have learned." Scrappy nodded. "And we need to time it so that it counteracts Tasha's next move." They sent a joint letter, an uncompromising depiction of how producers orchestrated discord. Once signed and released to a large entertainment channel, it would be tough to ignore again in her living room. Erica got a "You came," he announced, whispered in a hushed voice. "I almost didn't." Erica fixed her gaze on the blinking neon sign outside. "I need the truth," she stated. He paused and then slid. She took the sealed packet into her hands. "Dan exceeded your expectations." She looked down and saw a label. "Final proof." Meanwhile, on the rooftop where their final confrontation was scheduled, Yandy paced beneath a solitary floodlight. Scrappy and Bambi arrived shortly later, their expressions drawn but resolute. They all carried folders, flash drives, and printed emails bound with paper clips. "We're live in 10 minutes, Scrappy said with a nervous voice. Bambi nodded, pulling out her phone to see her reflection on the screen. "Can't believe it's come to this," she said quietly. "But if we don't do it now, we never will." Yandy placed one hand on each of their shoulders. "We aren't doing this just for ourselves," she explained. "We are doing it for everyone who believed in it," which demonstrates honesty. They took a collective breath, braced for the storm that was about to hit. Mendeecees returned to his blacked-out SUV, parked across the street, and looked at his reflection in the tinted window. Under the driver's seat, his lawyer's draft of the defamation complaint sat in his lap. He thumbed through the pages, considering whether to trust the legal shield or join the public campaign for his friends. He remembered Yandy's tear-streaked face, Erica's shaking hands on the USB drive, and Tasha's knowing smirk. Finally, he closed the door, stepped out, and headed to the rooftop entrance. This time, he won't hide behind legal jargon. He'd stand beside them, confronting the repercussions straight on inside a makeshift media room on the rooftop. A small group of independent journalists set up cameras and laptops. The network had declined to carry this unofficial press conference. The trio had planned for a popular website to live stream each word. A hush descended as Erica, Mendeecees, Yandy, Bambi, and Scrappy took their seats in front of a plain white wall adorned with graffiti and peeling paint, symbolizing the raw, unfiltered truth they intend to impart. Erica began speaking in a steady yet harsh tone. "We are here because we feel the truth is more important than ratings." She waited to let the words sink in. For weeks, she kept holding up the envelope. "We have been controlled, tricked, and silenced. Producers manipulated strings, recruited freelance editors to turn private situations into exciting teasers, and exploited Tasha K's platform to escalate pandemonium for hits. She tapped the envelope, revealing that it included undeniable evidence: email threads, payment records, call logs, and raw footage from production meetings planning our melodrama. Today, we want accountability from the network, the producers, and anyone who profited from creating our suffering. Scrappy walked forward with a gruff voice. I've been on this program for years, and I thought there was genuine tension. Yes, but real. What we witnessed were our lives, friendships, and heartbreaks, but someone behind the scenes thought that our stories needed more spice. They planned lines and staged fights. Let our tears flow for maximum engagement. This is the end of it. Bambi held up a flash drive. This video features unedited footage of producer meetings where they stated, "We need a scandal for episode 6. A few minutes later, Tasha K's first leak hit social media. That's not a coincidence. That is orchestration. Yandy took a stepping breath. I'm standing here not as a victim, but as someone recovering her voice. I adored Mendeecees and believed in Erica. However, love and friendship should not be used to boost television numbers." She looked at Mendeecees, whose eyes glistened. We were pawns in a game that we had never agreed to play. The live comments erupted as they showed documents and scrolling emails that revealed a hidden hand pulling the strings. Viewers startled at the sharpness of the timestamps. Messages from a shell firm that pays for secret recordings. Producers are chuckling over email about how to milk the drama. There's also a classified memo titled Project Overhaul Finale Cliffhanger. When the airtime was up, the small group of journalists applauded, some with tears in their eyes. The live video feed shut off, but the message had reached millions, splintering the narrative that the network had dominated for so long. Across the street, Tasha K frowned as she watched the live feed on her phone. She had assumed she was the mastermind behind pandemonium, but now she saw she had been a piece in a much broader plan. The packet she gave to Erica had been planted by the real. She had misjudged the clever rival blogger. The final piece of evidence in that folder revealed a conspiracy to utilize Tasha's credibility to usher in a new period of sensationalism, which Tasha was no longer ready to participate in. Executives crowded in a darkened control room at the network's headquarters, their features pale under fluorescent lighting.